All right, so today, April 11th, recap, trading journal, whatever you want to call it. So I finally got to take a live trade again, so no paper trade today. Stock I was watching, VERU, and unfortunately, I didn't get in here. This would have been a nice breakout trade for me, but caught it late. So by the time I saw it, it was just ripping and running up to $7 and change. So I had to wait for another opportunity. Consider getting in on this bounce. But good thing I didn't because it failed. Now, what I did do though is I didn't realize I was able to short this. I didn't think my broker had any shares to short, so I wasn't really paying attention to it on the downside. But because I saw this and I was getting ready to paper trade the short, but once I realized my broker didn't have any shares, I did have some shares to short, I got in here. And now, had I realized this sooner, I would have got in at a much better price, 11.80 or so, and would have had time to take in some profit at 11 bucks. But it turned up against me, and I just went ahead and got out. Now, I did not use a hard stop, which kind of wish I did. My stop was 1160, or my mental stop was between 1160 and 1180 tops, but it got to 1160 in the flash. So at that point, I'm just waiting to maybe just have it go back down to 1160 so I can get out with at a better price. But once it started hitting 1175 or so, I just went ahead and got out, thinking it's not gonna come back down to 1160, and just cut my losses right there. So that was the first trade. To grade that trade, I would have to say on the setup. Setup is it's an okay setup. I get a setup, a C. The entry was trash. This is like I'm gonna still give it a C because this is, even though I wanted to get in here, this is more aggressive. This is just being more safe and waiting for the stock to confirm below the 20. So I give that a C. My target was this level right here, the 50 EMA. And final target was going to be right at VWAP around 1050. So it just reversed out of nowhere. So the overall trade, I would have to give it a C minus, just because I didn't follow my plan and exit at 1160 like I wanted to. Even though I did give a little bit of wiggle room initially, by the time it was going against me, I told myself I'll get out at 1160. Yeah, that's that. But once we started breaking above here, it confirmed back above the 9 and 20 EMA. I'm thinking, okay, here's the reversal. As it started to seem like it was about to blast off, I got in thinking it was about to blast up to about 13.50 to 14 bucks. But just as I get in, it just not halts, but pauses right there. So that freaking sucks. And I probably shouldn't even have gotten in this one because I'm trying to trade safer. So I should have got in on the bounce. Now this could have been a really good trade had I gotten here or here. But yeah, I got in small because of where the stock was trading at. So it was small size, only 100 shares. So I was able to withhold my position or hold my position as it bounced here. And as it came back up, I went ahead and added. So now I'm in just pretty much full size at this point. Oh man, and I had probably a pretty decent profit too, unrealized profit. I was trying to wait till the stock hit $14, but it pretty much capped out at like $13.75. And I should have just taken some profit there. That's one of the hardest things for me to do right now is just take profits sooner. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that. Actually, once I was in this, when I entered here, I got out here thinking like I shouldn't even get in the trade. But after I took a step back, I realized the trade's still good, and we're starting to blast above this level. So let me go ahead and enter full size. But yeah, it was started to run up. I was excited. I was in full size, and I would get a pretty solid move. But just stalled here and took me out with a small loss. So overall, the way I traded this was a little sloppy. I needed to tighten things up. Main thing is I shouldn't have gotten in here. On the reversal, I should have gotten in here. And once I was in here, I shouldn't have exited here. I should have just stayed with it. This would have been, yeah, I should have just stayed with it. But to grade the second trade, the setup on this trade right here, or the third trade, I should say, setup was probably C plus, B minus. My entry, C. Execution, A. Overall trade, C plus, B minus. This trade, the second trade, setup, D. Entry, D. Execution, fail. So overall on this is a D. But that's pretty much it. 3 trades, 3 losses. But even though it was 3 losses, I was able to not lose my hat. I lost maybe about $200, close to it or so. So that's that. Until next time, deuces.